In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the Colorize Mask tool in Krita, a tool you can use to take some line art and with a few color scribbles, turn it into a colored piece of artwork. So I watched the tutorial by David Revoy that came out just a few days ago, and he shows his workflow to colorize illustrations. With a few scribbles, he manages to get pretty good results there. He explains some of his tips working with the Colorize Mask, but these apply really well to illustration. Now we're going to see the basics here and also how to apply it to game art, because now some limitations for us game artists and some advantages as well. Let me delete my Colorize Mask here. I'm going to throw it away, and starting with some line art. It can be sketchy, it can be clean, it will work either way. You want to use the Colorize Mask tool. It's here in your toolbox. It's a tool that was added in Krita 4, probably, was it 4.0? So you want to click on that tool, and with your line art layer selected, you click once on the layer to add a Colorize Mask to it. Then the Colorize Mask will automatically be in edit mode. This is this pencil icon here that we are going to use to apply colors to our mask. So you want to place color loosely inside of the places you want to colorize. Any brush will do, so you can place color strokes. If you have an opening in your line art, you don't need to place an extra stroke, but if you have a closed shape, then you'll want to put some colored dots there. You can work really loosely, doing things like these if you have multiple connected islands. And you want to do that for every closed shape on your character, on your piece of artwork. We're good for the blue already, the hair and some of the clothing. We're going to do the arm, little bit of the legs here. It's going to have some skin on it. Then we want some white in there. We want some darker gray at the bottom on the legs for the character. Here around the top, we're going to have some teal, a tiny bit of it over there and inside of the eye. Once you are done placing your colored dots, you want to go either to the update icon in the layers panel on the rightmost here, or you want to go to the tool options and click on the update button. It's going to fill your entire character. Now notice how it fills the entire canvas. If you don't want that to happen, you have to tell Krita that you want the area around the canvas to be transparent. So for that, pick a color that you won't be using in your character, something like purple. You place a dot, and when you go to the tool options, you will see that Krita keeps track of the colors you've been working with, meaning that you can then reselect the colors to reuse them. Select the color you want to be transparent and click on the transparent button. Note how you have sliders to close gaps. So Krita will detect gaps, and if you have small gaps in your line art, by changing this gap range, if you want, Krita will detect gaps as closed shapes. Then cleanup is going to try to clean up your strokes if you have something very sketchy, not too clean. One last option that's quite interesting is limiting to the layer bounds. This limit to layer bounds option will make it so Krita will only use the bounding box of the layer to fill with the algorithm. If you are working in a large document, this can make the filling process much faster, or the update process. I'm going to update again, and it's going to make the area around the character transparent. To view the final result, you want to click on the edit icon once again. Note that when you go to the tool options panel, the edit keystrokes checkbox does the same thing, and so show output is the double circle icon that can see in the layers docker. These are just shortcuts to the tool options. And there you go, you have your character filled. there's a slight catch or a few things to understand about how this tool is going to fill your character. First, the fill itself is pixelated. If you're trying to edit or paint over it straight, it's not going to work because this is a special layer type, a Colorize Mask. To convert it to a paint layer, you right-click on it, you go to Convert and to Paint Layer. From there, you will get a separate layer that only contains the pixels Krita filled. I'm going to put some background color to make the character pop a little bit. And there you go. So you can see that it fills up until under the line art, so that the line art plus the fill is going to be really clean, but without the line art, you're going to get a pixelated result. This means that you could use it for pixel art, for one, it could work. Then it's going to work best if you want to keep the line art in the final asset. In the case you want to have a completely painterly asset, you're going to have some work to add the color to the baseline art, and can be a bit tricky to do because you need the line art to be more or less one layer. Or you will have to keep your line art saved in a group, for example, duplicate it, and then on a squashed version of it, on a merged version of it, fill with the Colorize Mask, then get your line art back and make sure to change the color of it, change the color of every part of the stroke. Another thing is you have pure colors for each of the islands, making it so you can use the split function in Krita to split it to multiple layers. Because if you want to paint shadows, shading over the character using the alpha preserve mode, you're going to have some issues. It's going to bleed over different islands. So Krita has a feature for us in the layers menu, split, and you can select split layer. The options are going to put all the new layers in a group. It's going to alpha lock every new layer, which is quite convenient, so we don't have to use the preserve alpha here. And you can select the palette Krita will use to name the layers. So if you picked colors from a color palette, it's going to use these names. You can apply the change to then get the various color islands in different layers that can easily paint on. So Krita does that by color, right? It's not going to do it exactly by island, but from there it's very easy to select one of the layers, even with preserve alpha off. Preserve alpha is this option at the top, and to start painting some shading on your character. So if you have a style where you need the line art, this tool is amazing. Also, it's amazing for static objects. It's going to work very well for sprites that you don't need to animate. Now, if you need to do modular animation, you'll need every part of the character to be a separate sprite, and in this case, the Colorize tool will not be as useful for you. So you'll have to do a bit of experimentation with that. But it's a great tool to quickly fill up a sprite, and then you can easily shade the individual islands for it. The advantage is also that even if you leak a little bit on your Colorize Mask, even if you were to paint a bit outside the stroke, it's going to clean it up for you. So if you, when you are painting inside the mask, if you do something a little bit like that, if you overflow a little bit, it's not a problem. The algorithm is going to clean it up for you. That is it for this short tutorial. If there are ways or workflow tips you want to share on using this tool for game art, please go ahead in the comments below. That said, thank you kindly for watching. Be creative, have fun. Let's see one another in the next one. Bye-bye.